Good morning. I'd like to begin today's meeting by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land which we are gathered and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to the City Infrastructure Committee dated, where's my little date gone? 19th. The 19th of March. I declare this meeting open at 9 o'clock. I'd like to advise attendees in the room that this meeting is being webcast and audio recorded. I would like to thank the councillors with the help of staff for we had to move the meetings around office and push it back a week, so thank you to everyone for making themselves available. We'll move to attendances and leave of absence. We only have one leave of absence so far, which is Councillor Stemp. We need a mover. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Jackson, seconder. Councillor Murphy, all those in favour? That has passed. Councillor Hall must just, we've got no leave for Councillor Hall, so he must be stuck in traffic. We'll now move on to the confirmation of previous committee meeting minutes. There will be a motion displayed on the screen to confirm the previous minutes, that the minutes of the Infrastructure Committee held on the 11th of February be confirmed. When someone is ready, can I get a mover? Councillor Bradley, Tyler seconder. Councillor Jackson. Do any councillors wish to speak to the motion? There being none, I now open the floor to vote. Oh, Councillor Hall. Easy to shave. That has been carried. Thank you, councillors. We'll now move to the declarations of conflicts of interest. I now refer to the declarations of conflicts of interest. Do any councillors wish to declare a conflict of interest today? There being none, I now refer to the reports on today's agenda. Before we go to the reports, we have Mr. Gerard Briley in here, who's the Executive General Manager of Logan Water. Does anyone have any general business for him? Councillor Lane, you can come up to the front if you could, please, sir.
Good morning, how are you?
Morning, Councillor. Well, thank you.
That's good. During the thing that was Alfred, Logan Water managed to do a ripper of a job. The crews were everywhere, they were very responsive, and I'm very grateful for that. Just a bit of feedback though, when people lose their power for a number of days, they lose their ability to use their pumps. And I had the Division 1 councillor contact me in the LDCC asking about fresh water for her residents. And from a conversation, I thought that we were able to supply it, but as it turns out, Logan Water has no capacity to supply fresh water to residents who've been without fresh water for a number of days. Is that right?
That is right. So currently we provide fresh water to customers who are without water from our network caused by unplanned outages. We don't typically provide fresh water in the event of a disaster.
Thanks. Can that be something that we look at? We've got a number of vulnerable residents out there who bathing is very important to them, and particularly during an outage of that kind, being able to refresh themselves from a health perspective is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something we could look at. We can look at cost, resource impacts. My anxiety is that it may distract crews from other activities that they're doing, as you say, out responding to water and wastewater incidents in the community. So I just have to look at that and take it on balance and then come back.
Thanks very much.
No more GB? Thank you, mate. I hope you have a good day. We'll now move on to our reports. We have two reports today. Our first one is 6.1 Capital Roadworks and Drainage Program Quarterly Report, October to December. It's a public report, and we'll hand it over to Mr. Paul Wilson.
Morning, Mayor and Councillors. For expedience, I'll just take the report as being read for the Capital Roadworks and Drainage Program Quarterly Report, October to December, and that the report be noted. I'm happy to take any questions, or if there's anything you specifically want me to talk through.
Councillor Bradley.
Thank you so much through the chair. I really want to thank you sincerely for the Underwood Road bus turnaround, which is mentioned in the report, and specifically your assistance in getting a camera there. Noticed some nice hooning marks on the road, and hopefully that is being monitored, but I'll be following up with the manager responsible for that. Thank you.
No, thank you. I'll pass that feedback on to the team.
No more questions? Oh, Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you, Paul and Daryl, for popping into my office yesterday. I did ask you a few questions in there and said I'd talk today. Teviot Road, the first stage of it, Pub Lane to Leanne Court, or from the Woolworths to Leanne Court, great. It's actually chugging along nicely, as I would say, and that sort of thing. For the residents out there watching this, we're about to have a lane switch that will occur. I'm just waiting on final details after the site settles again, after Alfred has wreaked a bit of havoc on the roadworks and that sort of thing there. So hopefully lane switch will occur, and it's actually not too far away. But what I actually wanted to address with you both and for the residents out there, and I will speak about this again in Ordinary Council, this morning we had a fatality on Teviot Road, and there's lots of social media, lots of emails coming through at the moment after the tragedy. Again, people are saying, you know, what's happening with Teviot Road, where's all the funding going and all the rest of it. So I wanted to address Chambers Flat Road upgrade, which costs $54 million. It is in Division 9, and it was a decision that was made, I believe, in around 2019, or the discussions were occurring before that, so it occurred with the previous council. It was estimated in 2012 at 29 million, in 2022 it was 38 to 40 million, and now recently finished it was 54 million due to some works that had to happen and that sort of thing. However, what the community needs to understand is funding for these roadworks leading into the PDA is a much larger and a much broader discussion. So Chambers Flat Road upgrade was completed with PDA infrastructure funding and council funding, with no other source of funding out of local or state. I wanted to tell the residents, especially those this morning, we need to fight together. And I'm hoping the Mayor has got some sort of response back from the letter that he sent through to state government. We need to fight together, and we need to work together so that we can actually get the sub-regional infrastructure agreement with council and EDQ and the priorities shifted and moved so that we can get the funding into the right areas that lead into the PDAs, not so it's put into roads in an agreement that was signed many, many years ago that actually doesn't lead into a PDA where we're meant to have 140,000 people living in Greater Flagstone. So what I want to say is Teviot Road, Middle Road to Greenbank, Teviot Road, Homestead Drive intersection, Crowson Lane, Newbeath Road, both sections of it are the next sets that should be prioritised, not just within Division 11, but within the West, along with Division 8, because I know Councillor Heremiah is having a lot of growth in his area as well. You know, the population growth in these areas is out of control, and we still don't have the infrastructure to match it. So we're having constant accidents, fatalities. This isn't the first one that I've had on Teviot Road. And without the upgrades, this will continue to happen, unfortunately. And it's just such a sad moment because of the fatality this morning. So I'll leave it there.
Thank you. I'll just chime in. Those roads you mentioned are the next ones on the list, so we don't think we have to change anything. They actually are the ones that the staff are looking at next, so there's nothing that needs to be changed. With reference to Chambers Flat Road, I can tell you firsthand as an emergency services, when we fix the roads like we have in Chambers Flat Road, they're actually going faster. So the Chambers Flat Road that I had prior to the Chambers Flat Road that we have now, which was before I was here, like I have more speeding, more hooning, more reckless driving because the road's wider, smoother, straighter, and they drive faster. So, you know, pardon? So that's the thing, careful what you ask for, because a lot of times this can be driver's fault, you know, and I go to a lot of these scenes and they are driver error. So when you fix the roads, sometimes, and it's hard because you go and do the right thing and you spend 50 million on a road and they drive faster. So, but to the point, and to, I don't think public are listening, but if there is, those roads are the next ones that are in line, so nothing has to be changed. So the staff have done a good job. Does anyone else have any more stuff, questions for this report? There being none, there'll be a motion on the screen. If you can have a read, and when someone's ready, could they move it, please? Councillor Bradley has moved. It's been seconded by Councillor St Ledger. All those in favour? That has been passed unanimous. Thank you. Does anybody have any general business for Mr. Paul Wilson before he takes off? Oh, Councillor Lane's thinking about it. Yep. Councillor Lane's got one for you.
Thanks. I'm not sure if it is you, Paul. So a number of years, Leichhardt Street was closed and cut off halfway along the road. And it was done because that bastion of health, McDonald's, had so many problems with people throwing their junk out on the road. But it's gotten to the stage where Wembley Road, they come out of Macca's and they're trying to go across 2 lanes of road to do a U-turn at an extraordinarily busy intersection just out the front of here. And we're getting it to the point where they're actually stopping traffic. So McDonald's users have become, let's say, quite forthright on the road and not caring about other users. I'm wondering whether or not we can reopen Leichhardt Street to divert them back to Mays Avenue so that they have a safe place to turn right to go home.
I'll take that as, I've written that down. I'll actually talk to be with our planning team. So I'll reach out to the planning team on that one for you and come back to you.
Love your work, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. No more questions. Have a good day, mate. Thank you for coming down. Oh, you want to stay around? We're moving on to report 6.2, the Bega Road Recycling Facility, crushing and repurposing of waste concrete. It's a public report as presented by Mr. Stephen Bell, and it's over to you.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, councillors. The purpose of this report is to highlight to council the recycling operations conducted at the Bega Road fill site at Kingston. For those that don't know, we actually have a fill site there that's managed by RCM, and it's predominantly a recycling facility. What we'd like to do on this report is highlight the work undertaken by RCM to stockpile, crush and repurpose waste concrete into a viable and cost-effective product for use on council's various road construction and maintenance projects. In this regard, we have actually produced a video, which I'd like to show you this morning. Hopefully the link will work. We're very proud of the work that we're doing here. This is we're basically taking something which is a waste product and then converting it into a different material. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Take some questions. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Mayor Raven?
Thank you, Chair. Through you. Great work. Love recycling concrete. How much did the video cost to make?
Through you, Mr. Chair, absolutely nothing. It was only time. It was an internal collaboration between RCM and our marketing branch.
Cool. So, but it's still time.
Yep.
Like, I love recycling concrete.
Yep.
I don't need a video about it though. And so when the punters are saying to us, hey, eliminate waste, save money, reduce costs, and then we make videos about concrete recycling, it's hard to say that we're doing that, right? So photos would have been great, and like your factoids are really cool. Like the information is great, and I think the work is amazing. We can do it without making videos about it. That's my key point. So if you're going to publish it and promote it, then let's see what sort of traction it gets, because that's where the value comes from. And I know you're going to do that, because surely you didn't make it just for us. So so hold my breath and see how much traction we get. If we get good traction, that's amazing, and then the value kicks back in. But my concern is that we make videos, and thank you for not using contractors, I appreciate that too, but we make videos that either people don't appreciate, don't understand. It's like the narrow roads video all over again, where we put out a video and then people blow up because they park the way they get told in the video and then get done for illegal parking, right? So it's just, I know the organisation's trying to move into this modern communication era. Just want to make sure that we're doing it well and we're doing it in ways that are helpful to the community instead of confusing to the community. So with bated breath, I will wait to see the traction it gets. Thank you.
Councillor Lane.
Unlike the obscenely ridiculous parking one, I actually found this one informative. Thank you very much. I think that residents will like knowing that we're recycling and putting stuff back into roads. And from the king of video, I find it difficult to understand how you could object to that. Good job.
Welcome back, everyone. Does anyone else have any more questions? Thank you. I like the video because I think a lot of people, I understand recycled concrete because I do it, but I think a lot of people don't understand how you actually recycle concrete. So, and I think we used this product on Featherstone Road, from memory.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, we did.
And that was sensational because that road, we couldn't find a solution for it. It was ridiculous, and it was the only thing that made it stable. So, and it cost a quarter of what anything else would cost. So, good job. There is a recommendation on the board. Can you have a read? And when anyone is ready, and Councillor Lane is ready to move, Councillor Jackson has seconded. All those in favour? That has been carried. Just noting Councillor Bradley is out of the room. Does anyone have any GB for the road construction and maintenance manager? Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Bannon. I would just like to give Stephen a big thanks to you and the team. We've just had a little event in the last couple of weeks, and in that time we had a sandbagging station in Beenleigh, which was astronomical, the number of people that come through that place. We serviced people from Brisbane, Woolloongabba, Ormo, Pimpama, even Jimboomba. There was hundreds of thousands of tonnes of bags that went out that door. People were happy that we were able to provide those for those people. There was heaps of shovels. The traffic management team were fantastic. We had the delivery team that were really good. The police unit come down and even shoveled some bags. We had these young volunteers at the end on the last night that stayed with me till 7 o'clock and helped me get heaps of sandbags in. We were trying to get people in and out as soon as possible because it was raining. It was horrible. I just wanted to say a big thank you to the team. It was a huge effort. I was exhausted and I've got a muscle here that I didn't know about. So from lifting bags. So thank you so much for your assistance in that, and I'm sure our community is thankful as well. So thank you to you and the team.
No more GB for Mr. Bell. Before you go, we did have, everyone likes to talk about Jimboomba. We had a sandbag thing at Jimboomba, and I have to admit that I was wrong. Whoa! So when we spoke about sand at Jimboomba, we hadn't done it previously, and Councillor Lane's come out of the woodwork. I didn't think it was something that we needed because I'm a firm believer if you know your place floods that you should prepare for that, especially when you've got 7 to 10 days notice. So I didn't think it'd have much uptake, but I mean, you know how many cube we dropped. The last day we pumped out 80 cube just in that itself. So I got that wrong. The community did appreciate it. The mayor got all the praise for it, so I'm good with that as well because I actually didn't think it was a good idea. But yeah, so I was wrong on that, and I guess it means every time there's rain coming, I'll be out there shoveling sandbags again. But being a concreter, I'm good at it. Councillor St. Ledger.
Just a quick one for the director. Can you please check the
No,
deputy?
excuse me, mate. We haven't got GB for the director yet.
Oh, we just need to check
Just
your
gonna-
temperature, mate. With you saying you were wrong there, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't falling ill on us.
Oh, this guy. Anyway. Thank you, Mr. Bell, for all your good work. Good job, mate. Good job. That concludes our report today. We have no late reports. Does anyone have any GB for Mr. Darryl Riley? I believe so. Councillor Bradley was first.
Thank you so much. Mr. Riley, I really want to pass on my sincere thanks to you, to Megan Gould and the CEO for enabling me to give feedback. I really appreciate that. And for all the work that happened behind the scenes, the recovery this cyclone event was amazing. I reported something, and thankfully through Councillor Lane, and I want to thank her as well sincerely for her role in everything. It was fixed in 2 days. I'm like, that has never happened. So I want to thank, I'll thank the actual responsible manager personally, but I really want to pass on that feedback. The recovery was amazing.
I can't remember who was first, so I'll go Councillor Jackson, because I think you've got more questions, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, through the chair. I grew up on my parents' property, just off Bumstead Road from the mid-70s through to mid-2000s. And back in the 70s, it was a corrugated dirt road. And I remember sitting in the back of my parents' Kingswood and asking my dad, is this called Bumstead Road because it's so bumpy that you have to drive steady? And he gave me a bit of a history lesson on the Bumstead family and pointed to Bumstead House, which is still on Bumstead Road today, and Bumstead's living there. I'm now the councillor of representing Bumstead Road, and more than 40 years after that occasion, there's probably still a generation of kids asking, is this called Bumstead Road because it's so bumpy that you have to drive steady? And while I think, I understand we've been successful in applying for new traffic lights through the Black Spot funding, Julie Street intersection, can you give our residents any hope of a smooth road for Bumstead Road in the short term? I know there's upgrades coming, but if you could give us a bit of a time frame for residents, some hope of a smooth road and what that might look like, that'd be good.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Councillor Jackson. Yes, so Bumstead Road is in a few of our programs. As you've highlighted, we were successful in an application to the federal government for Black Spot funding, which will see us signalise the intersection of Julie Street and Bumstead Road. That's in our design program at the moment, and we're working through the details on that. Further to that, Council did adopt as part of its pavement rehabilitation program earlier this calendar year pavement rehabilitation works on Bumstead Road as well. Indicatively, that work is currently shown in our 26-27 year, but we do monitor the condition of the road and make adjustments if things become dire or urgent. So that work is in the planning process for us as well in the shorter term. Tied with that in regards to being a growth front that Bumstead Road is in, it is included in our local government infrastructure plan, which is adopted along with our planning scheme. That would be for an upgrade to Bumstead Road. Currently, it is in the back end of that program, which is a 10-year program, so it is on that longer term horizon for us, but would be work that would be looking to progress in regards to what the design standards of that would be in the not too distant future, so that we're prepared for that work.
Thank you for that. And so on that resurfacing, to give residents a feeling, I think there's a few different types of resurfacing that do happen around the city. Browns Plains Road is currently being resurfaced. As a comparison, is it going to look like that, which would be very nice and smooth?
Yes, so certainly within the pavement rehab program, it is in there in various stages, so it is split up into different locations where there are different actions. Some of those will be more structural in nature, some are probably resurfacing, but the surface that we would actually place on Bumstead Road would be asphalt, which is typical to what we would see on most of the inner urban streets that we do, which would be similar to what's being put down on Browns Plains Road at the moment. Yep.
Councillor Hermeyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a couple of questions today for the Director of the Roads Department, and they're all about road upgrades in Division 8. Now, what's overly clear is that the current state of roads in Division 8 is unacceptable. We've just had some horrible crashes, especially around the school road area, and the community is calling for change ASAP. Now, the reason why we got to this state is because the population growth going on in Logan Reserve and Park Ridge is so high that all of these new houses and all of these new residents are driving in and out of the area. That puts increased strain on the road network, but we haven't seen those roads upgraded to the level that's appropriate. Park Ridge grew at 9.6% in population growth last year alone, which is more than double the city average. And all of that new strain on those roads is resulting in an unsafe environment, especially around School Road. Now, I've contacted you over 50 times in the last 12 months about road upgrades and issues in Division 8, and we've got some massive wins. We got the intersection upgraded at Clark Road and Park Ridge Road with brand new traffic lights. And that only happened in January. We got a brand new safety footpath put in near the new school on Park Ridge Road. But that's not enough. We need to do more. And the big projects that the community is really calling for updates and progress on are the intersection upgrades at both sides of School Road and the resurfacing of Park Ridge Road. Now, both of those projects have been funded. The last public update on the School Road intersection upgrade with Chambers Flat Road was a number of months ago. It was that some environmental work is going on to do with spotting animals at night. That update was provided in January to the community via the public website that council has. I wanted to ask, what is the current state of the School Road and Chambers Flat Road intersection upgrade, and when can we expect construction to begin?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Councillor Jeremiah, thank you for the question. So School Road is part of the Chambers Flat Road upgrade project, which runs from Park Ridge Road to Derby Street. It will see a significant improvement in that overall section of road. You've quite correctly pointed out that that project, while designed at the moment, is the subject of an EPBC review in regards to the Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act. We haven't yet received that approval. We can certainly provide a further update on the website to that extent to ensure that we're keeping the community informed. It is a significant project for council. It is circa $80 million when we actually deliver that, and we have been successful in securing funding from the federal government towards that upgrade. Early this calendar year, so within the last couple of months, we were actually successful in acquiring a further $23.5 million contribution towards that project, bringing the total federal contribution to that to $36.5 million, which is a considerable contribution for them as well. It's certainly a project that we're looking to start as soon as we can, but we do need to work within the regulatory framework which we have.
So there's two sides of School Road. Yep. There's the side that intersects with Chambers Flat Road and the side that intersects with Logan Reserve Road. The way road upgrades work is that the politicians in the community can go and advocate and receive funding if they're successful, but the roads department actually has to go out and build the thing, which the funding enables you to do. Now, we've been ultra successful in securing funding for both sides of School Road to be upgraded with traffic lights on Logan Reserve Road intersection and a roundabout at the Chambers Flat Road intersection. At the Chambers Flat Road intersection, it stated that there's environmental work going on. Has a contractor been appointed to build the roundabout?
We can't go to public tender, which we will need to do for the works, until we actually have that approval.
So we're waiting on environmental work to finalise. Once it's finalised, a contractor can be appointed who will then build the roundabout.
Yes, it's a project that's in our program which we're progressing to deliver, yes.
Okay, and there's a public website. There are irregular updates provided on that public website for the community. Can we expect to see more regular project updates from the engineers to be published on that public website for the community to read and understand?
We can provide a further update on that website, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hammer. Great questions. There being no more, I now conclude the meeting. It's finished. I declare that the City Infrastructure meeting on the 19th of March concluded at 9:29 with the wonderful Councillor Karen Murphy up in 10 minutes for City Governance. Thank you.